Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. We have fantastic news because in less than 24 hours, we will be watching real NFL football. No, you didn't hear that
Wow.
incorrectly, but we will be watching real NFL football.
Wow.
So we've been doing this every stream so far this week. You guys have been loving it, so we're going to continue to do this. Today's giveaway. If you want to enter, you got to like the stream and type 24 hours with the word of the S on the end. Sorry, 24 hours. All right, just like that. All right, so here's how it's going to work. Every time we hit 50 likes, we're going to give away a start, sit, and a trade question voucher. So there will be 2 winners every 50 likes. Be a friend. Hit the like button. Type 24 hours into the YouTube chat. All right, all one word, just like I put it there. All one word. All right, 24 hours, all one word to enter. And then you'll be officially entered once you've done those 2 things. Appreciate y'all.
That was real Donald Trump there.
Technology. But we appreciate y'all for being here. What's up, Marvion? Thanks for joining the stream there. Hey, HUD is in the building. We see y'all. Thanks for being here with us.
Come on, y'all.
We've got a fantastic stream, and we're going to answer as many questions as we possibly can. Take a mental note right now while you're watching this channel. Our goal every time we go live for the rest of the season, is to answer as many questions to help as many people as we possibly physically, realistically can. Okay. Now, in order for you to get your answers, pretty much guaranteed from Badaki and myself, the best way to guarantee that is for you to submit a question through the Flock Fantasy website. Each and every time we go live, we're going to start on the Flock Fantasy website. That is where all of our questions are going to be hosted. And then whenever we are done here, if we do get done here, we'll jump over to YouTube. But we will always, and I'm going to say this again, we will always prioritize the people on the Flock site because they're prioritizing us. The great news is when you submit a question on the Flock site, you get a direct link to when we answer your question, so you don't have to wait around as if you were to do like a super chat on YouTube or something. You get a direct answer. You get a link to the video to exactly when we answer the question. Now, you're going to see a lot of people today, and they're submitting free trade question vouchers. And you might be asking, like, okay, well, how are they? Why does that say free? What does that mean? Well, those people are probably 2025 season pass members. It's a one-time purchase, $34 to get the season pass on the Flock Fantasy site, and you get some vouchers with it, unlimited access to our rankings, the trade calculator, all the tools on the site. So in-season, rest of season rankings. And by the way, week 1 rankings did just drop on the Flock site. So you can actually click week 1 right now. And you can sort by myself if you would like to see my rankings for each individual position. So I appreciate y'all for being here with us. We are going to start answering some questions. Again, if you're just joining us, we're doing a giveaway every time we hit 50 likes. And we're going to give away a start, sit, and a trade question voucher. All you have to do to enter is type 24 hours into the chat and like the stream. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get to some of these questions here. Starting off, we'll do the team reviews at the end like always. Starting off with Stumbleberry.
Stumbleberry, appreciate you, brother. 1 quarterback, 12 team. This is Dynasty question. Oh, right off the rip here. 1 quarterback, 12 team, start 8. So they're sending away Jahmyr Gibbs, getting a 27 first, 2 27 first, and Kenneth Walker. Instant gut feelings like I still don't want to do this personally. I understand 224 first, 227 first, excuse me, is definitely ideal. I don't see why you would do this.
He's wanting to rebuild. He put that in the message there.
Yeah, so I trade Gibbs to rebuild.
So,
I mean,
that would make sense if you're wanting to rebuild. If we look at his team right now, full transparency, his team is not ready to compete. All right, his wide receiver 3 is Darnell Mooney in Dynasty. We don't know when Judkins is going to be available. So
I guess my question... Sorry, go ahead, continue.
If you make this move, the next step is to start shopping Baker in season, Justin Fields in season, Chuba Hubbard in season. We'll shop those names and see what can come back. Javonte Williams in season. But I would say 3 firsts is around the price of a Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm just curious if you can get a different piece.
That's what I'm thinking. That's I think somebody that you can kind of build with, right? Because by the time Kenneth Walker goes to 2027, is he on a different team? He's on a second contract. I kind of want to get off of Kenneth Walker personally.
Well,
so like
I believe Kenneth Walker, it's a Josh Jacobs situation if he walks away from his team, as in he will be a starter somewhere. But I hear you overall. I would just say, because you're trying to rebuild, if you do move like this, it's only fair that he sends you Luther Burden. You know, send him a 4th-round pick, get Luther Burden back, and then that will spark a rebuild. Because you really want slightly more than 3 firsts if you're going to sell Jahmyr Gibbs, especially in a 1-quarterback league. You want slightly more than 3 firsts, not just 3 first value straight up. So get Luther Burden, a nice piece to build around long-term as well, and then call it a day.
Appreciate you, man. All right, Different Cellular is next. Redraft 1 quarterback, 12 teams, start 8. He's contemplating between Jordan Love and Dak Prescott here. Both have, in my opinion, kind of matchups that you want in week 1. High-scoring games.
I don't want the Eagles in week 1. That's for damn sure.
I think Dak Prescott is going to have a good game personally. I still personally have Jordan Love, though, over Dak Prescott, just because, once again, I think it's the matchup. High-scoring game. Last year, the Lions were terrible in the secondary as well. So I have Jordan Love personally.
You know, we have to keep in mind that Aiden Hutchinson was dealing with an injury, which really impacted their defense in a negative way. I have these guys pretty much back-to-back. I don't have a strong opinion. I'm just saying I don't want the matchup that Dak has. So I'm not saying I would not start Dak Prescott. I'm just saying I don't actually want to target that matchup. I lean Dak. It's close. And I'm not excited about it, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah, you're pulling hairs here. I'm happy either way, but
we've got CMC, Bucky, Devonta, Puka, Kittle, Worthy, and Igbuka here. Not going to start Downs, even though I'm glad to see him healthy. I'm not going to start him or Bigsby over the Igbuka or Worthy. So I think you've got your roster exactly where we would have it there. It was just quarterback. So hopefully that is helpful, my friend. We appreciate you big time.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump to Delicious, who is using one of his free vouchers from the 2025 season pass there on the Flock side. So shout out to him.
Yeah, I don't think Delicious. I mean, they said nothing for George Kittle. Sure.
I think what they're doing here is asking, how can they get George Kittle?
I'm joking. Let's see.
So, is that how you're reading this question?
I guess, honestly, would know. There's no context whatsoever. I'm looking at. I don't know which one's his team. That's another thing.
Right. Well, let's find. Yeah, that's true. Delicious. He says, I just want to know what type of trade to acquire Kittle. The only issue here is, like Badaki said, we don't actually know what team.
You don't know your team.
You've got. You didn't say that, so I'm gonna just give you a free trade question voucher. Come back and tell us what your team name is.
I'd select somebody from one of those teams, by the way.
Select someone from your team.
From your team,
Anyone from your team.
And George Kittle, and then we can have a conversation.
Yeah.
After that, but we appreciate you. Sinister Fury is next. 1 quarterback, 10 teams, start 8. Starting Josh Allen, Amarion Hampton, CMC, Marvin, Justin Jefferson. You're gonna go Brenton Strange there, and at the 2 flex spots. This one's easy for me. It's going to be Ricky Pearsall and Travis Hunter. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. One of the most ridiculous reports ever came out today about Ricky Pearsall, and the amount of people who are anti-Pearsall that are victory lapping it all over the internet is shocking. But I have Hunter and Adunze really close. I have them in the same tier. I do prefer Adunze.
Okay.
You know, I would, if I have an option to wait on the rookies, I am okay to wait on the rookies. And I would say that you have an option here with Rome Odunze. It's a good matchup where, you know, the Vikings last year were actually the #1 matchup for your wide receiver, as in the #1 matchup you wanted. That doesn't mean everything's going to translate from one week to the next. But, yeah, I could see, honestly, Hunter or Henderson being the right option here. But my gut is telling me to go with the Dunze Pearsall this week. But you've got a great lineup there. You should feel very proud of it.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Again, guys, if you're just joining us on the stream, just a heads up, we are doing a giveaway today. It's very simple. All you have to do is type 24 hours into the YouTube chat and like the stream. And every time we hit 50 likes, that will trigger us to do the giveaway. So there could be a limited amount of giveaways, right? And all you got to do, again, type 24 hours, all one word into the chat, like the stream, and then once you've done that, you'll be automatically entered. I appreciate y'all for being here with us. LP here, and again, if you want to prioritize your questions, you can check out the link in the pinned comment.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll do our best. We just can't guarantee everything. Okay, so LP is next here. He says, love Igbuka, but is this trade worth it? It's a Superflex 10-team start 12. It's a big trade. They would be sending away Caleb, Kamara, Igbuka, Adunze, Henry, and they would get back Lamar, Chuba, Reed, Marvin, Ingram. The way I read this is a massive upgrade at quarterback to Lamar Jackson. I prefer Kamara, but it's a little bit more of a lateral move from Kamara to Hubbard. Then when you look at Marvin Harrison, he's clearly an upgrade over Adunze or Igbuka at this point in the season. But obviously, you know, you're losing out because you're getting Jaden Reed back. But you would get an upgrade at tight end and Evan Ingram. I don't see a reason not to make this trade, and I love Igbuka.
Yeah, I would agree. I was just gonna contemplate on that wide receiver room, his wide receiver room, but there's so many upgrades here that kind of really helps. The massive gap between Caleb and Lamar, I think there's a huge gap between Evan and Hunter as well. But obviously the biggest gap in your perspective, not you, but in this trade here, is Jaden Reed in one of those wide receivers. So I'm still gonna go with the better package, the better overall players, and kind of hope that it works out, because this is a start 12, so he's losing 2 wide receivers. That's pretty key.
Sure, but it's a 10 team, so
exactly.
Let's think through the starting lineup
and that as well.
So you lose Igbuka and Adunze. So let's just think through that for a second. You lose Igbuka and Adunze, which means
Hit in Rugs.
which means that you would still be starting Lamar and Baker. Okay, that's 2. Let's just say Caleb is Lamar for now. So Lamar and Baker. You'd be starting Jahmyr Gibbs, Chase Brown. Then you'd be starting Ladd McConkey, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. You'd be starting Evan Ingram. Let's say Hunter Henry is Evan Ingram. You still have Jacobs on your team. You still have Chuba that you're getting back. You still have Jameson. You have Marvin Harrison instead of Igbuka and Adunze. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you would still be able to flex, I guess, Colson Loveland at this point, waiting on Rashee Rice to come back.
Yeah.
Your waiver wire is pretty decent as well. Dante Thornton is there. Alec A.O. Manor is there. Drop Justice Hill and go pick up one of those 2 names. So, yeah, I think overall I'd have a hard time saying no to that trade.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Appreciate you, LP. Daniel, 007 is next. 1 quarterback, 12 teams.
We answered a lot of 007 questions last year from Daniel, so shout out to Daniel. It's good to see you back. Clearly,
we appreciate you.
We were helpful, which is good to hear. I like to see people come back and and say, you know what, you helped me a lot last year. Let's get back to the championship. All right, so go ahead.
It says 1 quarterback, 12 teams, start 6. Wow, this is a really small league. I would imagine it's start 7.
It's probably start 7, yeah.
So he's sending away Brian Thomas, Tucker Kraft, and getting Ladd McConkey and Trey McBride. He doesn't have his team linked.
But this is a no-brainer.
I'm still taking it.
Yeah, absolute no-brainer. You lose my 9th overall player. I do have Thomas as like a late first-round pick, but you gain back my 25th and 24th overall player, and what's probably a start 7 if you haven't linked. So tight end's going to be important. So yeah, there's just like, unless you have Brock Bowers, there's no reason not to make this trade, I'd say.
I completely agree. Appreciate you, Daniel. Thank you so much for the support. Next one is Ran Berserk, if I'm saying that correctly. 1 quarterback, 12 teams, starting Hurts, Achan, Walker, Emeka, Nico, Evan, Diggs. Considering here Javonte.
Yeah, well, so Jaden Higgins, my guy. Jaden Higgins, a part of my Flock fantasy roster. So I'm saying that because there's a lot of bias in me talking about this today. Okay?
Come on. Start him. You won't start him.
I'm not starting him in my league, but
you start him. Start him in the Flock league.
In this scenario, he could be your best option. Let's see exactly how the news pans out. Maybe the hamstring is not a big deal for Christian Kirk. However, to not hear about the hamstring injury the entire offseason, and then to see it a couple days before we get into actual real football, that's concerning if you own Christian Kirk. So if Christian Kirk is ruled out and the Texans release their unofficial depth chart and already had Jaden Higgins as a starter with Christian Kirk there, I think Jaden Higgins becomes a more reasonable name if you're in a desperate situation. And I would look at your options and say, you're in a desperate situation.
Well, the other caveat here is that if Christian Kirk does practice and plays, then he does have another option in Caleb Johnson, but Javonte Williams is no longer an option. Just because if he's going to play the waiting game, Javonte is going to play. Because that's where I would then pivot to. I know the matchup is not amazing, but I'm just hoping for volume from opportunity. So
the way I view this personally is, you know, the reason I'm bringing up this potential injury is I imagine we're going to learn more about it. And if when we learn more about it, it seems serious, and they're like, it's a Jalen Coker situation. Like, it happened in practice. He's going to go on the IR. Then I think my answer would probably be Jaden Higgins here. But assuming we don't get any more information, or assuming like it seems not serious, then you probably don't have the luxury to wait. And then you would have to start Javonte and flex like an Achane or a Walker, whoever's game starts.
Yeah, you put him in that flex. Yeah, that's what I would do. Just you have to wait until that very last minute before those rosters lock, so you can give yourself flexibility there.
Yes, but that is a very detailed answer. We appreciate you, and hopefully that is helpful. All right, let's jump. We got a team review here from Jaron, which we'll get to later on. Steven BB here with a trade question. Let's jump into this one here.
So they're sending Travion Henderson and receiving Devonta Smith. He said 10 fab included with Smith. 2 quarterback, 12 team start 8. I guess my question is, are you okay at running back? And I feel like you could potentially get a little bit of a higher.
I wouldn't do this trade. I mean, just if you look at my overall rankings, I have Henderson at 38, and he's a player that I think could really catapult. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if in 2026, by the end of the year with what Henderson's doing, if we're making him as like a first or second round pick, like Hubbard and Chase. Or sorry, Bucky and Chase. But Devonta Smith, I think we know who he is right now. He's a great wide receiver too, that because he's on a run-heavy team, will have some boom, will have some bust games. Not that he's a bad player at all. It's just the offense that he's a part of. So even if you think about where you drafted these guys, like Henderson was a third, early fourth-round pick in all the drafts we were in. Devonta Smith was a fifth, highest, at highest, a fifth-round pick. So I don't understand making this trade. I would keep Henderson. And if you need wide receiver, I wouldn't settle just because this is the option on the table.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think if you are clearly struggling at that wide receiver position and you want a little bit more confidence, then you should be able to go out and get somebody else at a higher caliber.
Yeah, like this guy's team has Jackson Smith and Jigba. In a lot of drafts, these guys are going like a couple picks apart. That is a more realistic ask.
Yeah, I was thinking JSM, Adams, Sutton. You could probably get Sutton in the plus. Marvin, Terry would be interesting. Tataroa would be interesting. Other than that, like I wouldn't do it for it actually has to be Devonta Smith plus. But there's no plus on this team that I really like.
It's either JSN or we stick with what we got from me.
Yeah, appreciate you though, Steven. Hopefully that helps.
Sam Stew up here with a start sit. He says, need help with my RB3 in last flex spot. I do think my opponent would score a lot of points. Okay, so he's telling us that. It's always great to have context. He's telling us that because we do need to look at like upside plays with his roster. Now, I just wanted to get a little update on today's giveaway. We currently just passed 50 likes. So the great news is anyone who's watching here does have a chance to win a start sit and a trade question voucher. The way we're doing it this year is every time we reach 50 likes on our stream, we're giving away a start sit and a trade question voucher. And for you to enter, all you have to do is type 24 hours into the chat, just like this, and like the stream. Once you've done those two things, you're good to go. I'm telling you this now because it's your last chance to enter the first giveaway, and then we will continue to do these giveaways over the course of the stream, depending on how much you guys blow up the stream. Got to be one word, by the way. 24 hours, one word. Okay, so he's starting Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy. We're definitely not going to start any of those Saints. He's got Genty Taylor at RB2. He's in a tough spot. Here's the thing: if Javonte Williams was playing
RB3, actually,
the Jaguars,
sure.
If Javonte Williams was playing the Jaguars, the Panthers, I'm just thinking of like some of the worst rush defenses last year. The Saints, then it would be like, okay, he's a starting guy. Put him in there. Don't overthink it. But because Harvey actually has the better matchup, I've got these guys in the same tier. Even though Javonte is going to get more work, I would probably prefer to start Harvey. That Eagles defense is nasty. Go with your gut, but I would probably just go with the upside there. If you're saying you need an upside play, you can't play it safe. I'm not sure Javonte's the upside play in that matchup.
Sure, the upside play is not Javonte. But it also is really difficult with the reports saying that, JK is going to be the #1 guy now. What does upside play really mean if he's the RB2? I'm not sure. But what is also the second side of that coin? What's the upside play if Javonte Williams is going against one of the best defenses on kickoff, right? So it's a tough one. I'm still going to go Javonte just because I'm hoping for touches.
Okay.
And I just don't know what RJ is going to be getting me in week 1. So
sure, at the flex,
I can understand Zach's perspective.
Totally. At the flex spot, he's got Waddle, Pickens. Those are the names that he's considering. When he's entered the question. For me, all week it's been Jalen Waddle. I am a George Pickens guy. He's my guy officially this year, but I do not like the matchup. So that's been Waddle for me all week, and it's going to be Waddle for me today. Badaki, I think, is going to disagree though.
Yeah, for me it's George Pickens, but with the context, I can understand Waddle, the upside play, right? And then this can kind of even out. Either the upside play with the running back, or the low end play with the running back, and then the upside play with the wide receiver, right? So I would go Waddle in this context, but I think in any other situation, I'm still going George Pickens. Appreciate you, Sam.
Yeah. By the way, I think we have something else we need to talk about, which, like, potentially the most sickening event.
He's sick to some. He can't even speak.
That
this guy
we've ever seen.
Sure.
In the history of any event ever, just occurred today on social media, and our worst fears were confirmed. Scott Hansen confirmed, which he has no control over, by the way. This is ESPN's fault, not Scott Hansen's. That there will be ads in Red Zone. Number one, how the hell will that work? Red Zone never stops. That's the point of Red Zone. You're constantly going from one game to the next. You're showing me a big play after big play, or cool story after cool story, touchdown after touchdown. What are you going to do? Play a 5 for 5 Wendy's commercial in between that and I miss a touchdown? How do you catch up? It's live football. I am sick to my stomach. This is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, ever. I absolutely hate it, okay? There are certain things that you don't mess with. There are certain things that are beautiful that God made a specific way for a specific reason, all right?
Sure.
You look at the Great Barrier Reef here in Australia. You look at some of the most beautiful art historically. You look at the Mona Lisa. You don't mess around with some of the things that God's made right. That pissed me off. But I don't think there's anything we can do about it. What can we do about it? I don't think we can do anything about it.
Boycott Sal's.
All right.
You know what that's
from? No, I don't actually. What is that from? You didn't know what it was from?
No, fuck, I'm trying to think of the movie. I have it in my head. It's with Spike Lee. Do the Right Thing. Sorry.
All right, we're going to give away a start, sit, and a trade question voucher here, okay, because we reached 50 likes. So every time we reach 50 likes, another 50 likes, we'll do the giveaway for everyone who's entered. So let's give away a trade question voucher, Badaki. You ready? So the first one's trade question voucher. Badaki's going to keep a track of this. So the trade question voucher is going to someone named Tom Duna. All right, so Tom Duna. You have officially won a trade question voucher. What I need you to do, my friend, is DM me on Discord with your Flock Fantasy username and a screenshot of your YouTube account. Now, if you don't have a Flock Fantasy account just yet, that's fine. In fact, anybody watching this, if you don't have an account yet, that's completely fine. You can actually link Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo leagues completely free. It is one of the few free features that is really awesome on the Flock site. So if you haven't created an account, create a free account with the promo code LAND. I just put a link in the chat, and then DM me what your account name is, my friend. All right, next winner here. This is for the start sit question, and this is going to it's so close. It's going to Evan Maggle. So same thing, Evan. If you haven't created an account yet on the Flock site, create one for free. Use the code LAND, and then DM us on Discord. We'd love to hook you up with a free start sit voucher, my friend. That's my Discord username. All right, let's jump into the next question, shall we?
Yes, which is from Sam. Is it Sam? Hold on.
It's Happy Emo here. Happy Emo.
Happy Emo. Yeah, there we go. Happy Emo. He says, who to stash, Quinshawn, Scadaboo, or Mixon? In order, it would be Quinshawn, Mixon, Scadaboo for me.
Well, if you're telling me you can stash, my question is, do you have an IR spot free? Because then you could put Mixon there first and then grab Judkins. If you don't have that, that's not available to you, then I would probably go Judkins. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have a little bit more of a leeway there.
Yeah.
With that.
Just want to clarify, we say this every stream that we start, and we say it during the streams, but to anybody out there who's dropping super chats on YouTube, we always prioritize questions on the Flock Fantasy website first. So that's where we would suggest for you guys to put your questions in if you want a guaranteed reply, like in an orderly manner. Once those are done, we will jump to YouTube. We'll honor the super chats, but Flock Fantasy will always get done first. Number one, YouTube takes 30% of your donation, so we're trying to steer you guys towards somewhere that benefits us. Number two, when you ask a question on the Flock Fantasy site, when you link your team, we give you better answers because we have more information. All right, Real Raiders 89 here. Let's answer this. Sit.
One quarterback 18. This is the 8-man team. Okay, start 8. Joe Burrow, James Conner, Achane, Chase, Jackson, Evan, Devontae, Kenneth Walker, George Pickens. Having a look at your team here, probably considering someone like a Tetaroa. He says, would you start Tet over Walker? Is what is coming down to.
Love T-Mac, but no, I would start T-Mac over Pickens.
Yeah, I'm happy either way.
So,
but once again, pulling hairs here. Guys are really close in my rankings here, so I would say either way.
For me, they're not close. I have them in different tiers. Number one, T-Mac is the only weapon on that offense that they can really target at volume, and we've seen Bryce Young target players at volume. Coker's on the IR. Adam Thielen is out of town. It's a good matchup. So McMillan has the better matchup. He should have a higher target share. Pickens is on a better offense, but he has a terrible matchup against the Eagles. That was one of the worst matchups you could have for wide receivers last year. They're a young secondary. They're getting better. I could be 100% wrong. Totally, I can recognize that. But if it was my team and I had to make the decision, I would be going T-Mac, even though I can completely recognize that anything is possible.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Raiders. Thank you so much for that.
All right, Sesame here. They would send away Kyron and Amon-Ra to get Gibbs and T-Mac. Wow. To start 7, let's look at their roster. So, oh wait, they haven't linked, so it shows a Flock League. By the way, guys, anytime you submit a question, definitely go to the My Teams Analyzer first. Link your team, either Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo. And then we will be able to, when you submit a trade or whatever, we'll be able to see more of your team. But yeah, I think this depends on what does your wide receiver room look like.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well. If you're going to trade away a Amon-Ra, get Ted. But let's just say you have a Amon-Ra and then your next best available wide receiver is a Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
Probably that might be a little bit tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have an Amon-Ra and somehow you went, let's say you took Amon-Ra and then Brian Thomas at that turn, then I'm okay sending Amon-Ra and getting Tet for this, right? Like, just really depends on that wide receiver or a Lam McConkey somehow,
yeah.
It just really depends on your team.
Basically, if you make this move and you look at your wide receiver room and you say, what did I do? Then don't make the move. But if you make this move and you look at wide receiver room and you say, yeah, I'm fine. T-Mac's going to be a great part of it, but I'm not going to be heavily reliant on it. Yeah. He's not going to be my number one wide receiver. Then you can make this move. So I think it's a relatively close trade. All right, Jonah Mandel with the trade question here.
Yeah, you're sending away Bo Nix and Kenneth Walker to receive Kenneth Walker and Devon Achane. This is Dynasty, 2 quarterback, 10 teams, start 9.
I'm not trying to interrupt, but we had a conversation offline about this.
Okay.
Anyone who used to support us, like OGs, we had like a chat with them, and we honor that still because those are the people who like supported us from day one. But we can't do it anymore. And we had a little conversation, and we ended up doing a counter because he actually had Bo Nix, Mahomes, Herbert, and Bryce Young on his roster. So what I suggested is instead of getting rid of Bo Nix, let's counter and let's send Herbert straight up for Achane. And that's the counter that we did. And the good news is I can report that counter was accepted. So Instead of losing,
he has A-Chain on his team, so
yeah. So instead of losing, Bo Nix, we now still have Mahomes, Nix, Goff, and Bryce Young, but we were able to grab Devon Achane. So we worked that out together.
Happy to report.
Happy to report.
All right. Appreciate you, Jonah. Who's next? I don't even know how to say this. Z. Thank you so much. Zade Zawaya. How would you say that?
Zidza.
You're sending away Braylon Allen and getting Tanks Bigsby and Kyle Pitts.
In Dynasty.
Quarterback. Yeah, Dynasty, one quarterback.
I don't really have a strong opinion on this in Dynasty.
I really don't.
Yeah.
Respectfully, I can care less for.
If Braylon Allen's your guy, I'm okay to pay that price. But otherwise, if you're just doing it to trade, I'll probably just keep the other side. I don't have a strong opinion.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion either, but appreciate you. Thank you so much. Strains. Quarterback, Bo Nix, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, Xavier Worthy, T. Higgins, Loveland, Sutton, and Amon-Ra.
Would you start Sutton or Jake Ferguson this week? I think that's the main question.
Loveland or Ferguson?
Yeah.
Yes, I will start Ferguson.
I think I go Ferguson as well, especially if you're thinking about game script. I feel like Ferguson is a safe option, and it's not like these cornerbacks are going to be on him. So he might actually get more targets than people are expecting. So yeah, if you want to party, you can go Loveland. They're in the same tier. I don't think it's crazy to do that, but I think there is more security with the Ferguson.
With Ferguson, yeah, I agree there. So appreciate you there.
Appreciate you big time. Just a heads up, gang, we're doing a giveaway today, as we do on all of our streams, where basically every time we reach 50 likes, we're going to give away 2 vouchers. Okay, so if you want to get in on that, all you got to do is like the stream and type 24 hours into the chat, because we are 24 hours away from kickoff. So we appreciate y'all for being here with us.
Gosh, can't believe that's crazy.
I know, it is wild. And if we reach 100, we'll do another giveaway for you guys. Let's refresh. We did have some more questions on the Flock Fantasy site. Again, that's where you can prioritize your questions here. So Sanjo Wall with a start sit. It was 2 hours ago, and it only just hit, which is weird. But he says, looking for some advice on RB2 and flex.
Okay, so let's have a look at this team. Josh Allen, Chase Brown. And then your running backs are James Conner, Tony Pollard. I will start James Conner because Tony Pollard's matchup is tough, but we might be considering him at that flex position.
Conner's got a great matchup, I agree.
You have Xavier Worthy. I would be starting Xavier Worthy.
Yeah,
over Tony Pollard.
Between Worthy and Pollard, yeah.
But I would put Xavier Worthy in that wide receiver 2. Or technically wide receiver 1, so you put Justin Jefferson in your flex.
Yeah, which will look weird, but it's the right move in case any weird injuries happen.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. All right. I like it. We're on the same page there. Love Connor's matchup this week. It's Manny with the trade question. And it's a 10-team start 8. They would send away Ginty and Lamb, so their first and second pick, for Gibbs and Thomas, so someone else's first and second pick. You're basically trading like a top 6 pick and a top 6 pick for a late first round pick and a late first round pick. This is all about who do you prefer in the draft, because
exactly
wherever you started in the draft is probably, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I probably lean Gibbs and Thomas myself.
Oh, you do? For me, it will be CeeDee Lamb and Ginty.
Yeah, you can see with my overall rankings, I've got Gibbs 3rd, Lamb 2nd, but I've got Thomas 9th and Ginty 13th. So I'm completely pulling hairs here, but the more valuable players, quote unquote, in my rankings would be Gibbs and Thomas, but they're all in the same tier.
In the same tier.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
But to me, it would be Gibbs and Thomas. And, I've been very much team Brian Thomas. I would not be shocked if Brian Thomas is the wide receiver 1 this year. I would be shocked if Ashton Ginty's the RB1. That's where the difference is for me. That would shock me as a rookie for him to do that. So, yeah. Thanks for the question,
Manny. Drippy is next here.
Get drippy with it.
Come on. All right, starting Joe Burrow, Amarion Hampton, considering Breece Hall and bobbing like I'm Dobbins. I'm gonna go Breece Hall here. Terry, Jamar, Trey McBride, Matthew Golden, Ricky Pearsall. Yeah, that's nothing else I'm changing here.
Well, are you starting Golden over Dobbins? And his first ever start with Dobbins starting for the Broncos?
I would rather start. Yes, I would. I personally would rather have Golden
okay,
starting over Downs, and I know we disagree on that because
Dobbins.
Sorry, yes, Dobbins. I was gonna say yes. Actually, say less. I am starting Golden over Dobbins.
All right. Well, I would love to have the Gonads to do that, and I could totally see an outcome where that's the right move. Like, it would not surprise me at all whatsoever if you're right there.
The only reason why I'm saying this, sorry to cut you off, because Jaden Reed didn't practice today, and there's literally no one else to throw to on this team besides Romeo and now Golden, right? Because if Jaden Reed is not practicing, highly doubt that he's going to be playing. And yes, they're going to probably be relying on the run game, but if that's not the case, because this is going to be a tough matchup because they're playing the Lions, a high-scoring game specifically, I would imagine Matthew Golden having a decent game. But anyways, that's kind of my.
I could see that. There. I could also see us be disappointed in Matthew Golden, and Romeo Doubs has a game, and Tucker Kraft has a game, and the Packers go Packers, and they just run the ball as much as they can, and they don't actually target wide receivers that much in Week 1. I love Golden. I was drafting him everywhere in Dynasty rookie drafts. You and I have a lot of stock of him. We loved him when everyone was like, "No, he's not worthy of a first-round pick. You can't draft him here." But because he's a rookie. And because, I want to build trust before I put a rookie into my lineup, if I have a equal option, then to me, I would go Dobbins here, who is going to start against the Tennessee Titans. It is one of the larger spreads of the week in favor of the Broncos. And I imagine that if this team is up, then Dobbins is going to be a big part of that. And I imagine he's going to have some goal line opportunities. Again, I could totally see Golden being the better play here. If your name is Rod and you like to party, you can go to Golden there. But in this scenario, my name is not Rod. I like to play it safe, and I'm going to go J.K. Dobbins. But I'm not going to blame anyone for doing the opposite of that, okay?
Appreciate you, Drippy. Hopefully that helps. Sparrow is next. It's a Dynasty question. 2 quarterback, 12 team, start 11. This is a tight end premium.
Yep.
Travion Henderson, Trey Benson, and Ben Sinnott. And he is receiving Alec Pierce, Adam Thielen, and Trey McBride. Now, my big question to you, Sparrow, what is the premium? And you're there with it, 0.75 tight end premium.
I mean, first off, throw Alec Pierce and Adam Thielen out of this trade entirely.
Yeah,
that will make no impact on this trade. It should not make any impact on this trade in a Dynasty league. Even in a redraft league, but definitely in a Dynasty league. I don't care. In a startup, there's a big tight end premium here. He said 0.75.
Yeah, 0.75.
So McBride is probably a second-round pick, but Henderson is probably a third-round pick. This is very close. If you lose Henderson,
you have JT Walker.
You still have JT
Tyrone.
Walker. Yeah. I mean, can you make a counter where, I know this sounds crazy, but in Dynasty, I prefer to send Taylor instead. So I'm curious if you could counter, and, we don't need Thielen. We don't need Alec Pierce. We will give you...
I'd rather that be picks, by the way. Like, if you can get picks instead of those players. But yes, I like the JT move.
I don't think Thielen or Pierce are worth a 4th-round pick. So I agree with you, but if I can save Henderson and send Taylor instead, that is more enticing to me. So that would be my counter. Although losing Benson is tough, but yeah, that would be my counter.
Appreciate you.
All right,
Sparrow.
I think we had some more questions submitted, so let me refresh here.
Yeah, we have Daniel 7, and then all right is after.
We gonna be all right. Daniel 07 already the top supporter of September, by the way. Wow. Shout out to you, Daniel.
Hell yeah. Hey, we appreciate you, brother.
Oh, we got 3 questions here still. If you guys want to prioritize your questions, you can do that through the Flock site. By the way, I know we've said this a couple times, but if you don't have an account yet on the Flock site, you can create one for free with the promo code LAND. And just check it out. Like, if you see any value in it, great. Use the code LAND, sign up, implement, your team into the My Team Analyzer. If you see any value in it, awesome. Then maybe, you become a member. If you don't, no hard feelings, Don't become a member if you don't see value in it. So, Daniel007 says, tonight on moving off Breece Hall, too much uncertainty, but no taker. So this is like a headline for a news channel, basically. But, do you have strong opinions on this? I have a strong opinion on this, but I'm just curious if you do.
To move off of Breece Hall, I mean, we've kind of both been on the same page there. If you can move him to get him off, especially with Elijah Vera Tucker getting injured now, that offensive line struggling, I'm happy. That is a huge deal. If I can somehow get the following names, I am extremely happy. I don't know how you can get this: a Travion Henderson, an Amarion, a James Cook, a Chuba Hubbard, a Kenneth Walker. That's kind of where my mind instantly goes to. I'm not sure where you're at with Breece.
Well, I agree with you in sentiment, but my opinion is when you draft a player that nobody wants and nothing's happened in the NFL season, you can't then sell that player. You have to have that player prove people wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, when you draft Breece Hall and nobody wants him, so he falls and you draft Breece Hall, you can't then turn around and tell everybody who passed on Breece Hall, hey, do you want Breece Hall? You want to draft him? It just... So I'm not surprised at all, that nobody is interested, because Breece Hall has to prove them wrong first.
I definitely agree. I took Breece Hall in our home league. I think the
5-3 or something.
Yeah, I took him in the 5th round, so he was kind of a value there. I didn't think he was going to come back to me, so I definitely I understand where you're coming from and where you're at. You can't trade him away. It's a bit difficult, but
yeah, you've made a bed and nobody wants to lie in it with you. Nobody wants to cuddle. But what you need to happen is you need Breece Hall to prove everybody wrong, and then you're going to get everybody in your bed. All right? I mean, people are going to want to wine and dine you. They're going to want to send you a nice little, a little massage before bed. Say, how you doing? You want a bedtime story? But right now, you're sleeping on your own. Okay? That's my answer to the question, Daniel. I appreciate you. You want to take all right here?
Yeah, all right. One quarterback, 10 teams start 8. Looks like going to be putting in Bo Nix there for sure. Bijan, Achane, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, George Kittle, and at the flex you already have Devontae Adams. Considering Roma Dunze and Isaiah Pacheco, I would be going Isaiah Pacheco. It just feels like the more guaranteed, safer bet. I would put him up in that RB2 spot and move Achane down. That's where I would go. I'm not sure where you're at currently with Pacheco and Rome.
Sure. Yeah, I think Pacheco's safer. So I'm going to agree with you there. And that's the right process as well, to move Pacheco into your RB spot and put one of these other running backs into your flex. So love Adunze. I believe he can break out. It's a good matchup. Like, it'll be a great opportunity for him to break out. It wouldn't shock me if in week 1 we're like, oh, wow, Adunze's that guy. Drafted him in the Flock League. I know I traded him away, but I drafted him because I like him. So... yeah, it wouldn't shock me, but Pacheco is a starter for the Chiefs with Kareem Hunt dealing with an injury. He's probably going to get 18 plus touches, so hard to not go Isaiah Pacheco. Hey guys, just a heads up. Every time we reach 50 likes, we're going to give away a start, sit, and a trade question voucher. We're currently at 80, so we're about 20 likes away. If you want to enter that giveaway today, all you got to do is type 24 hours into the YouTube chat, just like I did just then, all one word, and then like the stream. And then if we reach another 50 likes, you'll be automatically entered into that giveaway, where we give away a trade question and a start, sit voucher. D Blessed here, Dynasty, Superflex, start 9. He is sending away Lamar and Downs to get back Higgins, Lawrence, 2 firsts. We're not even going to talk about the 4th. Yeah, wow. So let's say, I mean, Downs is not worth any of the, and I love Josh Downs, but he's not worth any of the single pieces in this deal, like a first, a Lawrence, a Higgins. He's probably worth a second, like an early second, or if not multiple in Dynasty. Losing Lamar is, a big loss in a Superflex league. So you're getting, let's say Higgins is 1.5 firsts. Lawrence is 1.5. Let's just call that 3 because you're not getting them for a single first and you're not selling them for a single first, right? So let's call that 3 between them. So that's 3, 4, 5 first-round picks basically for Jackson and Downs. That doesn't seem like a bad offer. I would ask, are these 26 firsts going to be early or late? The team that you're giving Lamar Jackson looks like they've got CMC, Monty, Wilson, Amon-Ra, CD, Andrews, Kittle. I imagine these are going to be late first, so not as valuable. I am not obsessed with the 2026 class. I've said this many times very openly. So my counter would be, can I get those to be 2027 first-round picks?
I don't think that person has 2027 first-round picks, unfortunately. I was just looking at his team on the back end.
And if they don't, I'm probably not that interested.
Yeah, I understand why you want to make this trade. Looking at your team here, D-Bless, you want to trade a quarterback because you're short at the wide receiver position. At least maybe you feel that way. You want it up tier with T. Higgins. I would just keep Lamar, and you got to hope for the Josh Downs breakout. You have Deebo Samuel there. You have Kyle Williams, Mike Evans. I personally would just hold and kind of just wait and see what happens. I'm not in love with this move unless I'm getting a wide receiver I really like.
Your team is ranked second in my rankings, and this is definitely a team that can make the playoffs. So to blow it up for maybe some late first-round picks next year in Higgins and Lawrence,
yeah, I just wouldn't do that.
I like the idea of like selling Lamar at his high. Lamar will never be more valuable in Dynasty than he is today. Doesn't matter what he does. That's just the way Dynasty works. So I like the idea. If you get another first, sure, let's do it. If you can make those 26 first, 27 first, sure, let's do it. You know, if you can turn, if you can extend this trade and turn Mike Evans, so you send him Mike Evans into a Garrett Wilson, you know, then sure, let's do it. Like add some more layers to the trade. But otherwise, if it's just like that's the best offer, then I'm probably just waiting and gonna try and compete with the team that I have. All right, your what hurts with another start sit here. Let's jump.
Be blessed. Be blessed. Your watch. This is just finished draft. I feel pretty good about my team, but flex is difficult. Love you guys. We love you, man. Bo Nix, Alvin Kamara, Josh Jacobs, Mike Evans, Jamar Chase, Brock Bowers. And at the flex, this is wow.
Well, I thought it was difficult. Like I don't have good options. It's difficult.
That's
like you have no idea who to play. Yeah.
This is an 8-team start 7.
Be Chuba for me. Be Chuba for me. Love the matchup. You know, funnily enough, the Panthers and the Jags were both like the first and second best matchup for your running back last year. Chuba is the only running back in that matchup that we actually know is going to be the workhorse, like the guy. I think the Panthers will be an improved offense. So I would go Chuba there. Obviously, when you have 3-4 options that you can flex, you might get it wrong because your odds increase of making the wrong call. Jameson, why can't Jameson have 2 60-yard touchdowns in this game? He totally could. T-Mac, why can't T-Mac have 11 targets in this game? He totally could. But Chuba Hubbard is
points on the bench regardless.
Yeah, Chuba Hubbard is like the easiest name there. But as we always say with leagues that are this small, how can you upgrade? Like, can we package Montgomery with Kamara and go get a Chase Brown, Bucky Irving? You know, can we?
I'm also interested in how you drafted as well. I mean, 8-man league. How surely you could have had like, oh, I guess you took Jamar Chase then Brock Bowers. Never mind. But then even then, there should have been someone like a lad available maybe, or a. You know, you kind of get what I'm saying here. This is not the best 8-man team, but still.
Yeah. I love the team though, like the players that you got as far as like Chubas, the Jamesons, the McMillans, because obviously I've got those guys in the flock league. But I like the team. I think you're being harsh.
Maybe.
I think you're being like Chase, Jacobs, Bowers. I like the team. But all right.
Right.
Mainyo, here with the trade question. They would send away Ridley for Hunter. I love this deal. I don't know how you feel about Ridley this year. I know everyone is claiming that it's the next Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels. That could be the case. But just so you know, historically, that would be an outlier. That doesn't typically happen for a rookie. Typically, rookies do not support fantasy relevant wide receivers. So, to me, the upside play here is Hunter. If you're looking upside, it's a 10 team. It's a start 7. I doubt you're going to start either of these names in such a small league. So if you lose Ridley is your wide receiver 4. So you're not going to start Hunter anyway, or Ridley. I would shoot for the moon personally.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I like Hunter. I just also believe in Calvin and Cam and what's going to be happening there, but I would rather have Travis Hunter. So I think that's a really good trade for you. No doubt about it. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Daniel, 007 with another one.
007 back at it again with the fresh fans.
Sorry, I click refresh and it is taking a second, so you can go ahead and take it.
Same. Give me a second here. Let me refresh the page in general. You guys are crashing the site here. Daniel's already, you're already the top supporter, Daniel. All right. You don't have to keep going. You're already the top supporter here. You're already the big dog. Manyo, we answered this question. When you get the time code, just go back like a couple minutes, but we answered it in detail. All right. Daniel says he was auto-drafted. He will prove them wrong, meaning Breece Hall.
Breece Hall. Right. Okay.
And his opinion. Prove them wrong. Breece Hall is going to prove them wrong. And, hey, I want that to be true for you. I want that to be true for you, Daniel. So we appreciate you being here, my dude. I hope you have more flexibility with your roster. All right, like we've always said, anytime questions come through the Flock site, we will prioritize those questions. For right now, we don't have any questions over there. We do have some team playbooks, which we'll get to, some team reviews here at the end of the stream. We're going to have to do a lot, so we're going to have to get to them relatively soon.
Yeah, sooner.
But let's jump to YouTube. We do have a super chat from Nightwave. It says Debo or DJ Moore for flex. I would lean DJ Moore, even though I love Debo. Just like that matchup versus Minnesota.
Completely agree.
On the same page there. We've got
another DJ Moore, excuse me. Kendrick Lamar fan.
Kendrick Lamar fan here says start Debo, Ridley, Jennings, or Jalen Warren in the flex. For me, this is Debo. I have been pretty vocal on not loving Ridley in week 1. It's not that I don't like Ridley season long. It's a first start for Cam Ward as a rookie. That typically doesn't go well, or it's mediocre at best. It's going to be difficult for them to straight out of the gate in a tough matchup with Pat Surtain being there. So I'm going to go Debo.
It is, look, I completely agree. It is a tough matchup. It's hard to kind of navigate. I do think Ridley could, going based off narrative, Washington can be away with this game with the Giants. And I'm a Giants fan. Keep that in mind, Kendrick. And I can think Ridley can have garbage time points, garbage time touchdown.
That feels like 3D chess when you should be playing checkers, though.
Because I know.
If the Commanders are up, it's because Debo's probably been a part of a really good offense.
Well, but that can also be Debo didn't have to do anything because Wilson Eckler has 2 touchdowns and Terry has 1.
Right, but at that point, you're now talking yourself into playing the worst offense compared to one of the better defenses or better offenses because of game script. That feels like too much 3D chess, in my opinion.
Sure, that's fine. At least that's where my mind goes. My mind's playing too much 3D chess. That's what I would be doing.
No, I have no problem with you making that decision. I'm just saying, don't you think, I don't know. Do you get where I'm coming from?
I get it. I just think vice versa. It's both ways.
Yeah. Well, that is our answer to the question. We appreciate you for asking the question here. A little bit of an update, gang. We have a giveaway here. When we reach another 50 likes, we're going to give away a start, sit, and a trade question voucher. We're 9 likes away right now. All you have to do to enter is type 24 hours into the chat, and you'll be officially entered. What we're going to do right now is we're going to, unless some questions come up on the Flock site, we're going to randomly answer questions, okay? And essentially the way that it's going to work is we're going to answer at random, and then once we finish, we're going to jump into some team reviews, okay? Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do it. First question we will answer here will be from RJ, who says Metcalf or Golden. Who would you start? This would be DK for me. How about you?
Yeah, it'd be DK as well.
Okay, cool.
Don't love it.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Another question at random. Let's see. Miami Joe says, should I put Calvin Ridley or Olave as my flex this week? Yeah, this is hell. You literally asked about two of my least favorite players to start this week. How do I answer that? I don't know how to answer that.
Yeah, I think they're kind of both in the same boat. I'm just going to go with the guy in a team that I just trust a little bit more, which sounds crazy, and I think that's the Titans for me.
Okay.
And I'm not a big believer in Spencer Rattler. I'm not a big believer in what's going to happen there. Now, it's nothing to do with Chris Olave. Extremely talented. We both love Chris Olave coming out of college. But Calvin in that offense, I think it's a little bit more exciting, a little bit more newer. It's a tougher matchup for sure. But I'm going to go Calvin Ridley. But once again, I can understand how both are very scary.
Yeah, I have these guys back to back. I have them pretty low down my rankings, but I would be leaning Calvin Ridley as well. Don't like either options, but again, if I had to choose one, I would be going Calvin Ridley there. All right, let's see. Another question at random. Let's see. Pistol Pete says, start James Cook over Hampton with the Najee news, ? I was always starting James Cook over Hampton regardless of if Najee played or not. I am drafting Hampton and Cook in the same tier. I'm drafting Hampton probably over Cook for the upside. But, with the Chiefs matchup for the Chargers in week 1, with Hampton being a rookie, I was personally never playing him over James Cook. What about you?
No, I completely agree. Jimmy's my guy. Got him in the flock league. And I do believe it's technically both have tough matchups, but you have to go with a guy that is already established in the offense with James Cook already. So, and we love Omarion. Just a little bit more confidence in Jimmy.
Yeah.
Going into the start of the year.
All right, so we are on the same page then. All right, let's answer one more question, then we're going to jump to some team reviews, yeah?
Yeah, I'm just getting those set up already.
All right, so Lucas Wang. I'm going to answer Lucas Wang because I dated a girl with last name Wang once. So shout out to you're probably not related.
That's crazy that he brought that up. If you can find out who that person is and put it in the chat, I would actually give you a free team playbook.
I would not. Not with the amount that we have stacked up right now. But oh no, she was awesome, but she wasn't the one. Okay, so he says, would you start George Pickens or Ricky Pearsall in week 1? Yeah, this is a difficult question, I would say, because you probably drafted Pickens ahead of Pearsall.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think Pearsall is the better play in week 1, given the matchup against the Eagles. So, yep. All right.
Completely agree. Ricky Pearsall.
Let's jump to okay, we just got a super chat there. So just in the nick of time there from Nightwave. He says, main league, flex, Ridley, Mims, or maybe Mason. Okay, well, you're diving there into the barrel there. We're not going to start Mims over Ridley, even though anything can happen with him. You got to see more from Mims. Mason, I could see Mason not scoring Ridley, but we just can't really project that at this point, right? So we're going to go Ridley there, even though that's not fun. And again, guys, I could be wrong. I'm just giving you supporting evidence why a matchup is concerning to me. It doesn't mean that's how it's going to play out. So just so we're all on the same page. Okay. I can't actually predict the future. I'm just giving the information and telling you how I'm digesting it. That's what she said. Why would she say that?
Why would she say that?
I actually don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know why she would say that. All right, let's jump to the flock site here, shall we?
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike H here, who is about to get his team playbook. Right after we review your team, all the information that we give you is going to be wrapped up into this beautiful graphic called the team playbook, and it will help you kind of execute your game plan for your fantasy football season. So let's jump into that, shall we? Go ahead and take us away with Mike H, the first one of the day. And if we get questions, by the way, that are submitted through the site or super chat or whatever, like we'll jump in between after the, like in between. So you can still ask questions. We'll just jump in between from the reviews and the questions.
Yeah, appreciate you, Mike. Big supporter. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if you're here today in the chat, but if you are, come through. But you are going to be getting a time code for this. Let's have a look at this team here. This is going to be a 1 quarterback, 12 team start 7. So heavy hitters, and Mike is here. So please jump in at any point in time. He says, feel good about this draft, but any suggestions, appreciate it. Which is 2. Currently ranked 2nd out of 12. And let's have a look at this team here. Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Bucky Irving, Omarion, Travion. That's a really good team. JCM there with Trey Benson, I really like as well. Wide receivers, Malik, Devontae, Cortland, and Mika Downs, and Tyler Warren. I mean, that's really, really nice. A really, really nice team, no doubt about it. Untradables, guys we want to keep for the season, Malik Neighbors. And I guess you could say Bucky in a start 7. We could put Bucky there. Stashes, you have already JCM and Downs that we're going to be keeping on our team. Waiver wire pickups, especially with the news that is going to be you guys, at least you should pick up is Jaden Higgins for sure. Yeah. I would be okay dropping Trevor Lawrence there. Woody Marks is a big pickup. Ollie Gordon is a big pickup as well.
Especially like dropping Trevor's easy when like a McCarthy is there on the waiver wire as well, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Ollie's a great pickup. Woody's a great pickup. Higgins would be my number 1 with the news about, if you didn't hear, we talked about it earlier. There's potential for an injury to Christian Kirk. So if you didn't hear about that, well, I'll let you know right now. Some people are not understanding why this is a big deal. Like people are replying like, that's not even the Kirk replacement. Higgins isn't the Kirk replacement. What you guys don't understand is in 2 wide receiver sets to begin the year, it will be Christian Kirk and Nico Collins. But if Christian Kirk is injured, it will be Jaden Higgins and Nico Collins. Okay. So yes, it absolutely will help Christian Kirk. And obviously on this channel, people who know this channel well know that we love Jalen Noel as well, but Higgins has to be picked up, point blank period. He has to be rostered. I drafted him in the 8th round of the Flock League. So drop Trevor Lawrence. I would pick up Jaden Higgins to start there. And let's see what his involvement is in week 1. If it's not, if it's not significant, then we can reassess. But I 100% agree with you.
Yeah. So this is a really good team. I gave this team like a B+, A-. There's a lot of guys that we both love here. We're big Travions. We're big Cortland Sutton's. Devontae Adams. I'm obviously got Malik. I got Malik. You got my 2 wide receivers in the Flock League, and Malik Neighbors and Devontae Adams, right? So a lot of these guys. Minus? I say B+, A-.
Okay.
That's
okay, right. I was gonna say I'm more B+, so we're on the same page there. Yeah, I like this. I like this team a lot. I'd say B+. I'm right there with you. He went late quarterback with Dak. I think that was a great move considering the team he was able to build there. Their starting 7 is probably Dak, Irving, Hampton, Neighbors, Adams, Warren, and then one of Sutton, Egbuka, Henderson. So
yeah.
And by the way, anytime you guys submit a team review, we're also going to go ahead and do a start sit because it just makes sense. We're looking at your lineup. So in week 1, I would be starting Dak, Bucky, Hampton, then Neighbors, Adams, Warren, and Sutton. Egbuka's fun. I don't blame you if you want to put him in there, but that would be the starting 7 for me right now. Yeah, this is a great team. I think you should be very proud of this team. Is there anything?
That's all admin.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all admin. Go ahead. I'm just going to use the bathroom. I'll be back.
Okay. So let's think this through then. Let's think this through. So with the current team that you've got, you've built this team where I really wouldn't suggest trades early on because, and we don't say this for every team. It's just your team. When you go out and you draft a rookie as your RB2, a rookie as your RB3, your 4th rookie or 4th RB is a rookie. Your 4th wide receiver is a rookie. Your tight end is a rookie. When you draft a team like this, you're drafting these rookies and you're aware that early on in the season, they might not be as productive as you want them to be because the goal is at the end of the year, you want them to be league winners. But that also means it might limit some of your flexibility in season because you don't want to sell early on the upside of an Egbuka, on the upside of a Henderson, a Hampton. So that's going to potentially limit, your flexibility right now. But in a start 7, I would say the one area I would like to improve is quarterback, and I like Dak Prescott. But what I'm going to say is like JCM and Dak Prescott. If there's JCM hype in your league, I think JCM is going to be a great player. But it wouldn't stop me from using him as a piece to tier up. If that is possible, great. If that's not possible, I'm just going to say like Downs is interchangeable, okay, in trades. So down. So yeah. Either way, if it's JCM or Dak and we can get a quarterback upgrade, I would love that. The first name that comes to mind, as I'm sure it's a shock to nobody, is Bo Nix. Okay. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's probably asking more than like the Bo Nix one. The reality is you're not going to be able to go out there and get a Lamar Jackson right now at this point of the season. But Bo Nix could make sense. The guy has Kyler Murray, so I bet you he'd be open to it, and he actually needs a wide receiver 3, so Downs might be the move there. This guy's got Lamar. We can't go too high. We can't go Lamar high. Baker, I'm not opposed if it was like it was a 2 for 2 here where we get like Baker Mayfield, because then you're going to get that stack with Egbuka, but you're going to ask back for like Cam Scatterbu or something. You know what I mean? Like if JCM has the hype in your league or they want Josh Downs.
What happens if we added JCM Dak? Sorry, what happens if we added Downs to JCM and Dak Prescott?
I don't think it gets us to like another tier above Knicks. Like I don't think that gets us to like a Daniels Hurts,
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Do you? Okay. Because I just think that's why I didn't explore it, just because I didn't think it would get us to like the top names. I think if you want to get to a top name, you have to include names you don't want to, like Egbuka, Henderson, Hampton.
I agree.
Okay. I'm not really interested in upgrading to Mahomes. I could be wrong on that situation, but yeah, I think those are your main options right now. What we do for everyone, if we don't have enough like trade ideas, is we give them a free trade question voucher. So might come back at any point during the season. I'd love to hook you up, my friend. But that would be like my main trade ideas right now. A Knicks, Burrow, Mayfield. Otherwise, I think you can hold at this point.
Yeah, Mike, and please, you're here in the chat with us. Let us know if you have any questions, anything you want us to explore. But I'll give you the spiel. You should be getting your playbook here within big batch. All the playbooks that are getting done today are going to be sent out today, my time. So it might be happening overnight. I want to get all these playbooks out before kickoff tomorrow. So that is my goal. You should be getting them within the next 24 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system. So if you are going to submit a playbook today, especially not just Mike, anyone else that's watching, and you can get it in today, you will receive it today as well.
Okay, so you're guaranteeing a same-day playbook with the review.
Yeah, a same-day playbook today, because I want to get all these guys out before kickoff tomorrow.
All right. By the way, in case anybody was curious, I hate to tell anybody who drafted Tyler Warren, I'm so sorry. I hate to do this, but unfortunately he's a bust. I'm sorry. I know he hasn't taken a snap in the NFL, but Captain said so.
Who said that? Oh, right, because Captain.
Mike says, was interested in your take. It's just a fun league with a bunch of friends, so no money. I reached on a few players. I think you've got a great team, Mike. Thanks for letting us have a look at it. Okay. Shane was Dynasty, right? Shane was Dynasty? Yeah, okay. So let's jump to Abandon Signature here. We appreciate you for being here. By the way, guys, this is pretty incredible right now if you think about it, right? Because you get the team playbook same day, which we're not able to offer very often. You get the team review, and you get a free start sit voucher when you submit a team review with us today. So if you're curious what the playbook is, after we review your team on a live stream, you get this beautiful graphic to execute what we call the playbook in your fantasy football league. You can get that by using the promo code LAND, becoming an annual Mother Flocker member. That will give you a voucher that you can use through the store. Otherwise, if you're a member of a different promo code, you can still get a team review with us through the Flock store. And make sure you choose Akim Badaki. Make sure you choose Fantasyland. And then alternatively, if anybody out there is a season pass member, when you go to your My Teams page, you'll probably see like an ability to upgrade to the Mother Flocker tier. If you don't, you can go to your account, hit edit plan, and you can upgrade to the Mother Flocker tier. That gives you annual access, not just season access. And it gives you the voucher as well for a team playbook. All right, let's go to Abandoned Signature here.
Okay, Abandoned Signature, thank you so much for the support here. Looks like
Oh,
you are on.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we said we would jump between questions, and we did have a question that was just submitted.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that really fast.
Yeah. So this is from, it's Manny. It's a start sit, and it's Burrow, Gibbs, Bucky, Thomas, Jameson, McBride, and T-Mac, which that's a nice lineup. Wow, that's beautiful. My God. At flex, they're choosing between Judy, Pearsall, Adunze. And I know this is going to sound crazy, but the answer for me is Jerry Judy. Again, I know it's going to sound absolutely insane, but I feel like your Ridley narrative with like garbage time, to me, it's a more reliable narrative with a Jerry Judy name because you have Joe Burrow or Joe Flacco throwing the ball. And we've seen Joe Flacco be the king of garbage time, the king of like targeting his number one wide receiver. You look at his splits with Garrett Wilson in his rookie season. You look at his splits with Amari Cooper in 2023. You look at his splits, last year with Josh Downs. He has been the king of like turning these guys in to these superstar receivers. So I would go Jerry Judy there.
Okay, I definitely understand the narrative, Manny. I would go Ricky Pearsall.
They're back to back for me, if that helps. So I don't mind if you go Pearsall.
I would go Ricky Pearsall. So, but either way, like obviously it's your choice.
I'm literally flipping between these names like every day. Just if that's helpful. You're probably having a difficult decision, Manny. I am also having a difficult decision. I'm flipping between those two names daily right now. It's really difficult.
Yeah. But appreciate you, man. Hopefully that helps. And good luck in week one. Good luck to everyone in week one, to be fair. All right. Abandoned Signature here. One quarterback, 12 teams, start 8. That is our classic. That's a classic meat and potatoes here.
I can't
this is what
open
his starting
the
lineup.
images. Can you? I have to go on the back
Yes,
end,
I can.
think.
Yeah, you have to go on the back end and then click on it.
Okay.
I'm not sure what type of league this is or what website this is. But let's have a look at this team. Lamar Jackson, Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle. You have Kyron Williams, Jalen Warren, Sam Laporta, and then Travis Etienne. Is this a start 8? 1,
I
2,
liked
3, 4,
it's start
5,
7.
6, 7, 8.
Oh, you're right. 8 because 3 wide receivers.
Yeah,
I
3
really,
wide receivers there.
I really like the team until we said Warren and Etienne. Then I was like, oh.
Yeah. The RB2 is not the best. Having a look at the bench really fast. He has Tank Bigsby, Keon Coleman, Chris Godwin, Jared Goff, Michael Penix. I mean, let me tell you something right now. You can drop Michael Penix. That's going to be your cut.
What if he's a Falcons fan? He wants to have fun, I mean.
Nah, get him off your team. Gone. Today, right here, right now. Nah, not because I don't like him, just because, and we can't see a waiver wire, unfortunately, but there should be somebody better on your waiver wire. I mean,
you're never starting Penix over Lamar.
Exactly. And if you're telling me maybe it's worth keeping Goff, because I would imagine a lot of your leagues have already drafted 2 wide receivers or 2 quarterbacks, excuse me. So Michael Penix.
I actually really agree with you. I just want to add to what you're saying. So for example, like if any of these running backs are on the waiver wire, okay, so like Joe Mixon, you could add him to your IR, the Braylon Allens, Jaden Blues, Rashad White's, Najee's, Brian Robinson's, Ollie Gordon's, Dylan Sampson, Woody Marks, Jerome Ford's, Chris Rodriguez, Tyler Algier, because the way that you kind of ran this team, or the way you drafted this team, I apologize. You need to kind of hit on a handcuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it's more important to have those handcuff options on your bench than it is to have a backup quarterback. Especially like 3 quarterbacks is overkill in a 1 quarterback, man. I would actually 100%. Probably, Badaki, say you could drop both quarterbacks, and if any of those names that I mentioned are available, pick up multiple running backs. And also, there's no reason to roster multiple defenses either. So same thing. You can drop the bottom 3 players on your bench, unless like your waiver wire is completely naked of talent of any of these names. But you can definitely, we stream defenses every week. There's no reason to hold an extra defense. You think about it. If you have a handcuff on your roster and the guy ahead of them goes down with an injury, the outcome for your fantasy football team is far more important than maybe you having a good defense for 1 week in a good matchup and you're planning ahead. It's far more important to the outcome of your roster. So
I completely agree.
I would drop the Lions today. I would drop Penix today. And then I would not be afraid to drop Goff if there's other waiver wire options there, because you're never going to start these guys over Lamar.
Yeah, so since we can't see, keep this in mind, abandoned signature, since we can't see who's available, what you're going to see on your graphic is just going to be like best player available. And then what we can do is put those names hypothetically, like the hypothetical names, like the Ollie Gordons, like Zach said, the Woody Marks on the chalkboard, just so you have a list to kind of reference if that is available, right? But you're just going to have a blank player that's going to say BPA, was best player available on the waiver. Okay, so keep that in mind.
And, if you're a member with us, then you'll have my rankings exactly. So you'll know exactly what my best available player is as well, by the way. So, but yeah, from a roster construction, just being honest and transparent, I think that's why you guys come to us for these reviews. You're not managing the roster well. Not when you have 3 quarterbacks. Sorry. Yeah, 3 quarterbacks and 2 defenses.
And two defenses.
I'm sorry. Look, you can manage the roster way better than this.
The only thing I would say in I guess in defense of him potentially is if the Lions in week 2 have like an amazing matchup.
I just don't care though, because
that's what I'm saying. At this point in time, we don't care because we haven't seen it, right? But I'm saying like,
I'm not saying you haven't seen it. I'm saying you can stream a defense every week. You know, if a running back goes down with an injury, it's going to be impossible to fight on the waiver wire for their handcuff, which you should have for the handcuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
So anyway, team grade. I would be curious to know how many. It's a 12-team start 8. So that's helpful to know it's not like a 10-teamer. That's not bad. I kind of lean B minus.
I put B minus. Just kind of what you mentioned, the roster construction. Now, the upside here is that you do have Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby. I think that's two really good guys that you have trying to lock up that backup. That backfield, and especially if Tootin is available, pick him up, maybe lock all 3 of them up. Just wait and see how that looks like, but that's where I'm at the point. But by the way, that's all admin as well.
Okay. Yeah, and again, like, this isn't a bad team. I want to be clear. Like, I hope we're not coming off the wrong way. I just think you can manage the roster better, and that's what we want to help you do.
Take me off the roster.
Okay, so you don't really have like the ability to do a bunch of trades here and tier up, right? If you think quarterback is very valuable in this league for some reason, then why don't we package them in a trade? Let's package Jared Goff and Travis Etienne. That would be the idea I would have. Like, if you don't want to drop him and you think like, I can't drop Goff for free, well, let's clear up a space on your team by doing a 2-for-1 where we send Jared Goff and Travis Etienne. Which, by the way, did you see the report on Etienne today? The most confusing report I've ever seen.
What was it? Maybe I did.
Let me see. I was genuinely bamboozled because I had no idea. Like, I didn't understand how to digest it. Let's see.
Trying to pull it up here.
I'm gonna find it here in a second. Sorry.
Is this on Twitter or is it on like his sleeper report? Getting second drive after Bigsby. Oh no, wait, that's was updated 17 days ago on sleeper.
Hold on, let me find it. Sorry, guys. Okay. Look, I can't find the news, but basically Liam Cohen was confusing because he said, you know, we want drives to go for like 10 plus plays, and Etienne's a guy that, you know, makes your drive go 4 or 5 plays. And then he also said like he wanted to include Etienne, so everyone was victory lapping it as if like he was saying Etienne's really important, but I was trying to understand how to. Okay, here. Okay, this is the quote here from Roto Legends. So you guys tell me if I'm an idiot. He said, he says, he'll be a weapon all over the field, built to flip long drives into quick strike touchdowns. We've got to use him as a guy that can help turn plays into those 10-play drives into 4 or 5-play drives. What the fuck does that mean?
Okay.
We want to help him turn the 10-play drives
to 4 to 5-play drives.
Into 4 to 5-play drives. I think I understand it as I'm saying it now.
Yeah, basically what he's saying is like we want this offense to be have bigger plays instead of being on the field for 3 minutes, 4 minutes in 10 plays. Nah, we're going to be on the field for a minute and a half. We're going to do 4 plays.
Okay.
Like we're going to score immediately. Big chunk plays, exactly. Big chunk plays.
As it was coming out of my mouth, it made sense. But that doesn't tell me that they want him to be on the field a lot.
That tells him that in my opinion, this tells me that he believes he can be the big, like Mike said, the big chunk play guy.
But that doesn't tell me that he's getting 15 plus touches a game.
No, that doesn't tell me. Doesn't tell us anything.
To him to be like a James Cook or something, or a James White rather. Anyway, we're wasting time here. I apologize. But yeah, if you think quarterback's super valuable, then let's package Goff and ET and let's go get an upgrade. So names that would make sense to me if we were to try and upgrade there. Let's pull up my rankings here. So if you can move from an Etienne, I would love to go to a David Montgomery. You know what I mean? A little more safety. If not David Montgomery, then I would love a Pollard, Swift, Pacheco. I'm trying to give you realistic options, okay? I think Pacheco is my favorite here. Pollard's my second favorite. Now, of course, shoot for the moon. I just don't think James Conner's realistic. I don't think Breece Hall or Chuba Hubbard's realistic. But I will put them down, again, with you understanding that I don't actually think that would actually happen in any league. Is that cool? So that would be my idea for your team. But outside of that, you really don't have a lot of flexibility because, number one, we can't do many 2-for-1s. There's no reason doing a 1-for-1 right now. And you don't have the flexibility on your bench. You can't use Godwin in a trade. Keon Coleman needs to break out. Bigsby needs to show he's worth something. So you don't really have many pieces to do 2-for-1 trades. That would be my idea, though.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Signature. Thank you so much for the support. You once again should be receiving that playbook here within 24 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah. I think we did have a trade question.
Yes, let's refresh.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Anytime you guys submit a question on the site, we will go in between the team reviews and answer your questions too. So that question is from God Tier Greatness. This is a start sit. They said, would you flex Xavier Legette week 1 versus the Jags? Here's the issue, God Tier Greatness. We don't know what your options are, my friend. So the way that you've submitted this is that you haven't linked your team up. So what I would suggest for you to do, my friend, and I'll give you a voucher here, is come to the My Teams page, link up either, if you have Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo, follow the steps, okay? And once you've done that, then you can click Start Sit, all right? And that's going to help link your team. So let me show you. So if I click Start Sit, my team is already linked for the Flock League. I hit Continue. Then I can, you can tell us, hey, I'm locked in on Bo Nix. The rest of your team will link there. And then as you go down, if you're locked in on players, say you're locked in. If you're considering a player, then say I'm considering Keon, Higgins, Ferguson. That will give us all the information and we'll know all the players on your team if you fill it out that way. The way that you've currently filled it out is you've only selected one player and you haven't filled out the rest of your roster. So we only have access to Legette. We don't know what your other option is. So I'm going to give you a free Start Sit voucher to come back and submit that. And let me know if that makes sense. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support. All right, Safe and Sound here with the super message says, is Purdy good enough to start the season or make a trade for another quarterback? Trade away Derrick Henry, Walker, Evans, Ladd for a quarterback and a running back? If yes, what names, please? I have Purdy on a lot of my teams, but Aki and I might disagree on him this year, so we might have two different opinions. I think Purdy is an underrated quarterback. I I think he's a part of a great offense. If you guys don't know, last year there were 41 combined missed injuries between Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, Jordan Mason, George Kittle, Juwan Jennings. Okay, so Ricky Pearsall even. So even though right now they have some injuries, however, they are a healthier team. Christian McCaffrey is healthy. They're getting Juwan Jennings back. So Brock Purdy now has McCaffrey, Kittle, Pearsall in his second year, Juwan Jennings. Ayuk will come back at some point. In my opinion, I believe that Purdy is underrated. And if I had him as my quarterback, I wouldn't be desperate to go upgrade. I'd rather see the first couple weeks play out first.
Yeah, look, I'm not desperate to upgrade from Brock Purdy. I just think there are better plays, and like I would have rather taken a shot on like the Jordan Loves later, the Dak Prescott's later, the Jared Goff's later. But like at the same time, I don't think you have to make a move here safe and sound. I would rather just keep Purdy, rather than trying to maneuver your team or move pieces to get you where you probably feel that's better. So I think this is just hold type situation.
Awesome. Appreciate you, safe and sound. Thanks for submitting that. Let's go ahead and refresh again, and let's look at the next team review here.
Yeah, which I think it's giant fish. Just a big old fish.
Yes, that's right. If you want your team reviewed, you can check out the link in the pinned comment right now. I'll put another link in the chat. There's no pressure. If you don't see any value in it, don't get your team reviewed. But it is available to anybody who does want to get their team playbook from us. Which is this beautiful graphic that you get once we finish your review. You can become an annual Mother Flocker with the code LAND on the Flock site. You'll get a voucher, or you can purchase one a la carte through the Flock store. So let's jump to Giant Fish here.
Okay. Oh gosh, I love this. Hey, this is me making a dent in the league. A booga booga. Start 7, all heavy hitters, it looks like here. Is a 1 quarterback 12 team start 7, and he says not proud of the Breece Hall pick. Should I be concerned about starting Mbuka in the flex? I have the 8th overall pick in a 12 team snake. Okay, and your team is Booga Booga.
That's the team name there. So ranked 7th right now.
Ranked 7th, yes. Brock Purdy, Jordan Love are the quarterbacks. Chase Brown downtown. Breece Hall, JCM with Nico, Devonta, Emeka, Keon Coleman, Jaden Reed, and George Kittle. So I'm assuming you went Nico, Chase, maybe Kittle, then somehow got Breece in one of those rounds. Anyways, untradables here is definitely be Nico Collins. And then I would also say George Kittle, especially in a start 7 onesie position, is going to be somebody that you are going to want to keep in the future. JCM is going to be your stash. Some waiver wire ads.
Can we just say right now, drop Kincaid, drop Jordan Love. It is far more impactful if you hit on one of these stashes at running back than it is if you hit on a backup tight end or backup quarterback.
Yeah.
So can we implement that straight away as like day 1, cut Kincaid. You can find a Kincaid on the waiver wire. Okay, your waiver wire is plenty strong enough. You should be stashing Trey Benson, Bashul Tootin, Braylon Allen. These names should not be on your waiver wire. You should not have JCM as your RB3. Agreed?
I completely agree.
Okay.
Completely agree. Other than that, I think that's pretty straightforward. I think you kind of just went through the stashes, the waiver wires. I mean, a bunch of names. Like once again, to reiterate, Trey Benson, Tootin, Allen, guys you can pick up there. I know Christian Kirk, got hurt, but maybe you can play him or pick him up as a flyer if it's just a doozy when we get more information. Other than that, like you're totally fine.
With that injury, I would say I would prefer all the running backs over Kirk now.
I completely agree.
Okay, just want to make sure we're on the same page.
I'm just saying, like, if he's still available and somehow there's space or you made room or whatever, I don't know how, you made a trade, then the first person I would pick up after those running backs will be Kirk, just to wait and see what happens. But other than that, that's kind of everything. I would say overall team grade, I would say this is like a B flat, B minus type of team.
Don't love Breece as RB2, but it could be worse. So that's your 6. Your 7 is Igbuka. I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. I'm trying to understand how your draft went. I understand you probably went Nico Brown in the first 2 rounds. I'm guessing then it was Kittle.
Yeah, it was Kittle.
Then Breece.
I would say potentially Breece, yeah, Devonta,
Anyway.
then Amika, then he went Brock Purdy.
I feel like
I don't know what happened after that.
it's not a bad team at all. The running back room is not in a spot where I would prefer for it to be. By the way, guys, we did reach 100 likes. Every time we reach 50 more likes, we are doing a giveaway for a start, sit, and a trade question voucher. So all you have to do to enter is type 24 hours into the YouTube chat. Just like that, all one word, and like the stream. Once you've done those two things, you'll be entered. Right now we have 63 entries, and after this team review, I'll make sure and raffle off those 2 vouchers here. Okay. So we've already given a lot of actionable advice here to Giant Fish in dropping Love, dropping Kincaid, picking up those running backs. I already think that's going to be very impactful for his team. The other thing I would say is, if there's anyone that's like not really aware that we don't like Breece Hall this year, I would test the waters. Like, if you can send Breece Hall away and, you know, get like an equivalent name, like a Chuba Hubbard, Ken Walker, you know, just, I know like 1-for-1 is not very impactful, but James Cook, Alvin Kamara, Travion Henderson, I don't know where he went in your league. So if any of those are possible, great. But you might have to hold on to some of these names. The other idea I would say is like packaging Jaden Reed and Breece Hall. I'm curious if even something small like that, you know, if we went Breece Hall plus Jaden Reed. With Jaden Reed's injury, I am not that interested in, you know, like keeping him on my roster right now. So if we can turn Breece and Jaden Reed and even get like, you know, a slight upgrade like the Amarions, the Cooks, the Kyrens, the Jacobs, something like that, then that would be awesome. Kyron Williams, I don't think Jacobs is realistic, and it depends on if this team needs wide receiver help, but I would even do that for James Cook. Like, if you can't do James Cook straight up for Breece Hall, I'm open to doing that because your waiver wire is so impactful. You've got so many names on the waiver wire. You can afford to do a 2-for-1, even if it's a slight upgrade. You know what I mean? So that would be the direction I would take. And again, as we told the person at the beginning of this video, probably not going to be able to trade Breece Hall. So just be aware of that. If you can't trade him, just hold him. People didn't draft him. They don't like him. So if you can't trade him, it's okay to hold him and just hope that he proves people wrong.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. You're going to be receiving your playbook.
What grade did we give?
A B.
B flat?
Double check. B flat, I think.
Okay.
B flat, B minus, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
I think it was B minus. You should be receiving your playbook here within 24 hours on the Flock Fantasy messages before kickoff. Once again, if you guys want to get your team playbook today, we will be reviewing them and sending those out within the 24-hour period before kickoff happens. Technically less than 24 hours because kickoff is happening less than 24 hours. So I'm grinding for you guys. Keep that in mind, but appreciate you.
Badaki is grinding on the poll for you guys.
I gotta make some.
We gotta do the giveaway. So let's make sure we do that. Okay. 76 entries here. So you can't win twice. If anybody, you know, already won, we're not gonna count it. But let's go trade question voucher first. So this person's gonna get a trade question voucher.
All right.
And that person's name is going to be Big Dogs 2020. All right.
Big Dogs.
So Big Dogs 2020. If you are out there, which you should be, all you got to do is DM me on Discord. There's my Discord username. Send me a screenshot of your YouTube account, and then tell me your Flock Fantasy username. If you don't have a Flock Fantasy username, you can create one for free. Anyone can create one for free with the code LAND. Use the code LAND at sign up. Then once you have your username, let me know. Might as well create a free account to use the My Teams feature for free, by the way, guys. Okay, let's go start sit voucher here. Start sit voucher is going to, it's close. It's going to Goosey 9000, 00 Goosey 9000. Same thing, my dude. Same thing. DM me on Discord. All that other information I just provided as well. Okay.
Goosey Lucy. Okay.
And I will reply to those people after the stream. I can't run the stream and reply at the same time, but I promise I'll reply after the stream. Jaren with the Dynasty team. So what we're going to do is, just so anybody who knows who submitted a Dynasty team, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are going to get lunch our time, and then we're going to come back, and it's going to be real late night. Like, a lot of you guys are probably going to be sleeping, but we're going to pump those out for you guys. There's no way to do all of them with the redraft teams and like answer the streams and all that. Okay. So, all right. So Jaron will be a part of that as well. Okay. Let's go to Snubs here.
Snubsy. Appreciate you, brother. All right. Let's have a look at this team. Oh man. Snubsy. 1 quarterback, 12 teams, start 8. That's our meat and potatoes. I'll put that in the chat for you guys. Breece Hall. That's a good one. That's his team name, Breece Hall.
That?
I don't know why.
You like that one?
So funny. That's a good one. I like that one. All right. You're currently ranked 2nd out of 12. He said league context 18 playoffs, so more than willing to take some risk early, but only 4 bench spots. That's good to know. Kyler Murray, Bucky Irving, Breece Hall, JCM, Tyrone Tracy. God, you put JCM over Tyrone? That's disrespectful. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Marvin. Yeah, I think it's you, right?
Yeah, Cam's got a blue season by the end of the year. That's why.
Don't believe it. CeeDee Lamb, Marvin, Xavier, Emeka, Rasheed with Tucker, Kraft here. Untradables you have right now is definitely CeeDee Lamb. Okay, stashes, which is I completely understand that stashes might be a little bit difficult in this league. Is going to be just JCM right now, and I would say obviously I guess Rasheed Rice is going to be a stash. You drafted him, you might as well keep him unless you get a haul for him, right? Waiver wire additions if you can. Not much. Sweet Baby Rays if you want to. You can kind of alternate with some of these tight ends, but that's more of like a week-to-week matchup base.
Yeah.
So let's just put Ray Davis there. And then the cut forecast for me, it would be Rashid Shaheed, but it would be probably a 2 to 3 week window.
Yeah. If he's not relevant in the first 2 to 3 weeks, drop him pretty easily and go after a name on the waiver wire that's attractive. In fact, if he's not even relevant week 1, I wouldn't be completely opposed to moving on from him either.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. Obviously, play it week by week when it comes down to a team like this. Overall team grade for me, I would say a B flat team.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb though, Marvin, it's like in between B flat.
Yeah, there's
B+.
no elite onesies. And, you know, the wide receiver room outside of Lamb, it could be great, but there's still some question marks. I don't love the RB2, so yeah, I kind of lean B-.
Maybe I give you just a little extra point because of the team name.
Yeah.
Because that got me. That was a good one. That is all admin here.
Yeah. You know, anyone who is rostering Rasheed Rice, they would know this, but your flexibility as a team when you roster Rasheed Rice is not very high, right? Start 8, it'd be easier if it's a start 7, but right now you are starting, that's your 6. Worthy makes 7, Egbuka makes 8. Now, I'm not opposed to using Tracy to tier up from a Breece Hall, or even a JCM to tier up from a Breece Hall. So I think that would be the main move I would look to try here. So it would be like a JCM plus a Breece Hall, and I'm curious what that could net us. So how are you supposed to answer that? Because JCM is like, the way people view him, it's completely different in every single league. In some leagues, maybe that can get you a Josh Jacobs. I don't know. Doesn't mean that your league is going to do that. In some leagues, the most it's going to net you is a Travion Henderson or a Ken Walker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just really depends on the outlook on JCM right now. I would say you could potentially. I mean, have people really moved? What's the consensus on the Flock site with JCM right now? Because after him being ranked or RB4, even though we kind of know that's most likely going to change on a week-to-week basis, has anyone really moved him down their rankings on the
I
block
see
side?
no reason to move JCM down, and I brought Eckler as a buy low this week. I have talked about being cautious with JCM in week 1, but I see absolutely no reason to take any action from the depth chart of him being 4th.
Consensus on the flock side, he's RB29.
Yeah.
So kind of like where you have him, right there.
Yeah. That's where I have him.
Look, another thing to keep in mind, which is going to be very difficult to kind of navigate here, is that there's only 4 bench spots. So this actually frees up a bench spot for you, which is really good. And another issue here is that Rasheed, yeah, he said that. He said that but only 4 bench spots. So
yeah,
another issue here is that Rasheed Rice is going to be taking up a bench spot for the next 6 weeks. Which is very difficult in a league like this. And not only that, you have 2 Chiefs as well, which is really not that big of a deal. But just thinking long term, that's going to be hard to kind of navigate, especially with that, right? So
this is probably more of a wait and see roster than a take action right now. But that is the case for most of the Rasheed Rice owners, the Jordan Addison owners, the Chris Godwin owners, the guys who took shots on these guys later on. They're not tradable pieces right now. So, but I like the team. I definitely like where the team's at.
Appreciate you, Snubs. Going to be seeing that playbook here before kickoff tomorrow, so stay tuned to the Flock Fantasy message system there.
And the message system is where you go to the advice tab. All right, there with your review, there will be a message tab there. That's where your playbook will come through. All right, let's go to B Dog here. I just want to refresh, see if we have any. I don't want to miss any questions if any questions came through.
I think we did get a question.
Yeah, okay. So this is God Tier came back, says, this is my week 1 roster with the Steelers defense and Gray as my kicker. Which player should I flex? So they've got Josh Allen, Charbonnet, Pacheco. Damn. What happened? Amon-Ra, Worthy, Kraft. And then at the flex spot, they're considering Benson, Caleb, Leggett, Pittman, Robinson. What happened, brother? How is this your team in a start 7? Who was your 2nd round pick?
It was probably Amon-Ra, Josh Allen. This is the way I see it. Amon-Ra, Josh Allen, Xavier Worthy. Then it was Pacheco.
Jeez, okay.
That's how I'm seeing it. I have no idea.
I would say Pittman of all these options with Daniel Jones being out there, but I don't feel good about it.
Same.
I think he's just your best option, though. Leggett could have a good game. We haven't seen him be consistent in his career yet. He could have a bigger role. Wan'Dale, could have a safe, nice little floor there. Caleb, we have no idea what the work is. Same with Benson. At least Pittman's a starting receiver. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Good luck.
Not as in
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just like, what? How did we make this team? I was almost like, is it like a keeper league and he's like traded away players for next year? I don't know, but
maybe just trying.
We want to be helpful, and I hope this is helpful. I hope that when people submit questions, they're looking for honest feedback. And I'm sorry if we're not trying to offend anyone. Okay. Hopefully that's helpful.
Hopefully that is helpful. Okay. Our next team review is B Dog here.
Dog.
1 quarterback, 12 team start 7. So that's our all heavy hitters. And there's no context here, but his team name is CDs TDs.
You want to?
I'll see it. Get him out. Dak Prescott, Drake May at the quarterback position, Devon Achane, Omarion, Travion, Trey Benson, Braylon Allen with CD Lamb, Cortland Sutton, Travis Hunter, Xavier Worthy with Tyler Warren here. So once again, in a smaller league, we want to keep these heavy hitters in the CD Lamb, and I would even put Devon Achane in that list as well. When it comes down to stashes, you have names already that we really like. Trey Benson and Braylon Allen are going to be guys that we're going to be stashing, and guys that you can potentially pick up off of waiver wires, I guess you could say Jaden Blue, Woody Marks are probably the only two that I see at the moment. Jaden Blue and then Woody Marks. And then the cut forecast is going to be either the tight end or the quarterback position. Now, there are plenty of tight ends and quarterbacks on your waiver wires that you can kind of maneuver. Dak Prescott, Drake May, really depending on who you want to start this week, right? But you can drop Drake May today to pick up one of these guys if you wanted to, as a just in case. But there's no one on the waiver wires that I'm like, this is gonna make or break my team, because I think you have a really good team already.
Yeah.
Unless there's a major injury. If there's a major injury in week 1 and Javonte Williams goes down and Jaden Blue's there, the first person I'm dropping is one of those quarterbacks or tight ends. Well, specifically Loveland or Drake May.
It's going to sound counterintuitive, but I love that you've got the the upside of May and the safety of Prescott. The upside of Warren and Loveland, hoping one of them hits. But it also limits your ability to field like stashes at other positions, right? So it actually hurts you in a way as well. Like, you can't really go out and pick a Jaden Blue, Woody Marks up, because who are you going to drop, you know? So yeah, you put yourself in, like, I like the idea, but you do need to probably commit at some point of the year, is what I'd say. But yeah, so like Dak, Achane, Hampton, CD, Sutton, Warren is 6. 7 is either Henderson or Hunter or Worthy. I think it's a good team. I would probably put like, it's not A, but it's B plus, I'd say.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I put B plus as well. It is a really good team. I like these pieces. And I think, I don't know where your mind's going, but my mind's like, I think this is, you're kind of set. You have great running backs. You have high upside players at the running back position in Trey Benson and Braylon Allen. You have a really good, solid foundation at the wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2, at least in my eyes, with Cortland Sutton. Then you have the upside plays in Hunter and Xavier Worthy. So I feel really confident in this team.
Well,
and I feel like there's no one here that I personally want to move unless it's more of like a pivot. But
when you double up at quarterback and tight end, you're now spending 4 positions on a spot that can only field 2 for your entire roster. Obviously, you can't flex them, right? So you are limiting yourself. At some point, you do need to commit to some of these options. Because if you think about your starting lineup right now, again, Devon Achane, Hampton, CD, Sutton, Warren, and then right now Hunter. So hypothetically, we could upgrade from Worthy. We could upgrade for Henderson, but these are guys that, again, you're projecting to increase their value over the course of the year. So hard to really suggest to do that right now. I think the long-term play is probably using like Dak. So I wouldn't really suggest anything right now, but I would say long-term trade ideas. And I'm going to say like when your roster is more solid. Okay, so you have more flexibility. So in an ideal world, we want to trade Dak Prescott plus, I don't know, like in an ideal world, you use Worthy or Sutton, like Xavier Worthy before Rice comes back to get an elite quarterback plus lower level wide receiver, right? Like these are the type of trades you're ideally looking to pursue in the future, unless May turns into that elite guy. Then you just have more flexibility when that time comes. If Drake turns to be elite, if Warren or Loveland turn out to be elite, well, then you can just improve internally. You can use Dak and Hunter to just go get one of the best wide receivers. Dak and if Henderson or Hampton are not living up to the hype, one of the best running backs. But right now, I wouldn't really suggest to make any moves. And I guess like if one of those tight ends don't pan out, then you could do the same thing at tight end. But what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a free trade question voucher. Come back on the stream at any point and use that voucher, because right now I think you're more of a hold than anything else, but you built a good team.
Yeah, thank you so much for that support. Once again, should be receiving that playbook here within 24 hours on the Flock Fantasy
And
message
I
system.
forgot to do this. Sorry. We're going to set his lineup for week 1. We said we would do that for people. So in week 1, I'm going to be starting Dak Prescott, Achane, Hampton, Lamb, Sutton, Warren. And then I would start Worthy. That would be my starting 7.
Yeah.
And I would also suggest to put Worthy in your wide receiver 2 spot and Sutton in the flex because of the times that they play.
Yeah.
All right. I think Smalls is the next team, and right now I think he's the last team in the queue. Let me refresh here, which means we might be ending the stream here soon. If we've finally caught up. Have we caught up? Let's see. Is that even a word? Is cotton a word? I don't think
it's cotton.
I mean, cotton is a word, but like you don't use it for like caught up. But anyway, this is potentially the last playbook. You can still submit your playbook on today's stream and get a same-day review if you're interested. We give you the review, and then afterwards you get this beautiful playbook, which helps you, kind of execute your fantasy season. You can get the code land into the Flock site, become an annual mother flocker. That will give you a voucher, or you can just purchase one a la carte. Completely up to you. Or if you're a season pass member with code land, you can actually upgrade to the annual membership with the Mother Flocker tier. Okay.
All right.
Smalls. Could be the last team review of the day.
Appreciate you, Smalls. 1 quarterback, 12 team start 7. Another heavy hitters here. A lot of heavy hitters. Standard start 7. He says, I kind of took your guys' advice and traded Sutton for Warren. Definitely lost on that trade. Yeah, I don't know if we would have done that personally.
When would we have suggested that?
No idea. Definitely lost on the trade a bit, but with my whole league was scared. Trade a bit, but my whole league was scared and wouldn't make a move. So I thought it was a good move since I had the handcuff and keeps a bit of trade value upgraded later on. Okay.
I genuinely don't remember this. I'm actually confused, but okay. I mean,
when would we?
I would have never said that. Like, I wouldn't have even had them in the.
But what's interesting is that he doesn't have Sutton or Warren. Oh, he has Jalen Warren.
Oh,
we would.
Wait, that makes even less sense.
We wouldn't have.
He's got to be thinking of somebody else.
Yeah, we would have never told you to trade Sutton for Jalen Warren.
Never. Whichever Warren it is, we would have never said that.
Yeah.
I can't remember a single time. I have not suggested anybody to trade for Jalen Warren this entire offseason.
He was like, I took a bit of a hit, but like going with your guy. He was like, dude, I don't know if this is. Anyways, all we're gonna say is, Smalls, if we.
Yeah, I mean, look, you guys have access to my rankings. I would have never in my right mind have told anyone this. You've got to be thinking about someone else. I have Sutton as my 44th ranked player. I have Jalen Warren as my 126th ranked player. I am the lowest on Warren on the entire site. And not because I don't think he's going to be great to start the year, but because I think Caleb will be really annoying towards the end of the year. So you have got to be thinking of somebody else. I would have never suggested to do that. I'm struggling to think of someone on the website who would have suggested to do that, but maybe someone would have.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily sure.
If we wanted to trade for a running back, there's no way we would have made it Warren.
Yeah. Look, we appreciate you either way.
I've got like Chuba, Walker, Henderson, Cook in that type of tier. Pollard at worst. So I'm sorry. You might have us mixed up with someone else.
At the quarterback position, you have Justin Fields, running back Omarion, Caleb, Cam, Warren, Dylan. At the wide receiver position, Puka, Brian Thomas, T. Higgins, Rome Odunze, Josh Downs, Alec A. O'Manor, and Kyle Pitts. When it comes down to untradables, it's going to be Puka Nacua, Brian Thomas, 2 guys that you're going to be keeping there on your team. Stashes, most likely going to be Caleb and Alec A. O'Manor. I would say.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, you definitely took our advice by stashing Alec A. O'Manor. That is something that we definitely would have suggested to do.
Yeah. I would also say waiver wire addition, which I think you should do this now rather than later. I don't know how you feel about this. I would be picking up Brenton Strange. immediately. Starting him over Kyle Pitts, I just feel a lot better about that player, about that situation.
I'm kind of indifferent. Like, if you think Pitts is the guy, you can start him there in the same tier for me. I do prefer Strange just because it's more of like a mystery box. But I also don't know who to tell him to drop. And if Kyle Pitts is the guy if Kyle Pitts is the guy that he believes in, then that's tough. But yeah.
Yeah, that was my situation. That was my next thing. I just don't know who you're gonna drop here, unless you drop Kyle Pitts for Brenton Strange, and like maybe that's what it is, because I don't think we're gonna be crying at the end of the day if we drop Kyle Pitts. So if you want to do this is gonna be on your playbook, Smalls. If you want to drop Kyle Pitts for Brenton Strange, I would do that today and keep everyone else on your team. No reason to, like, how can I say it? You don't have to do it, but that's what I would personally do. But other than that, that is overall everything on the adamant stuff outside of team grade, which I would say, look, the wide receiver room is really good. I'm not a huge fan of that tight end room and that RB2 room. You're leaning on a rookie running back as your RB1.
Which I would say okay with long term, but
yeah, I would say this is more like a like C plus, B minus.
Yeah,
it's hard to give it like anything less than a C plus because of how good your wide receiver room is.
Yeah, exactly. But the running back room, the quarterback room, tight end room is where there is a fall off. I could imagine you and I saying to send like Josh Downs maybe for Jaylen Warren. Like maybe we would have said Josh Downs. We just would have never suggested to panic sell Sutton to get Warren. But
yeah, the fact that you had Sutton, that means your wide receiver room was even stronger.
Yeah,
which is crazy to think about.
Anyway, the state of this team right now is interesting. You're gonna have to start Jaylen Warren. Excuse me. So your starting lineup is gonna be Fields, Hampton, Warren, Puka, Thomas, Pitts. That makes 6. Higgins makes 7. So, man, I feel like if we had Sutton, we could have turned that into Connor at worst, right? I mean, Pollard at worst, Walker, something. That would have really shaped this team out well. But as it's currently constructed, I still think you have wiggle room, okay? So if you wanted, and you're going to have to wait until week 1. Okay, like you can't do this right now. You can't sell a Dunze right now on your bench. You can't sell Josh Downs right now on your bench. You need to wait and hope that one of these guys pop off. So I'll say trade ideas from like week 2 onwards. These are not trade ideas that we're trying to do right now, but to me, I just don't understand why you would want both of the running backs. I get it from like covering Warren, from covering like Caleb Johnson off. But the eventual reality is these guys might split, and you're going to be splitting the Steelers' backfield. I don't know what that's really worth. So if maybe you're making this move because you're betting on Warren, I'm not sure. If that's the case, can we package in the future like Caleb Johnson and Josh Downs? Yeah. And I love Josh Downs. I don't want to sell him, but I think you do need help in your running back room. So can you package Caleb Johnson, Josh Downs? Can that get you to a Caleb Johnson, Josh Downs? I feel like James Cook, Henderson. That kind of feels realistic. Depends on your league. Obviously, everybody's a little bit different. You probably can't get to Kyron or Jacobs, but maybe even like a Ken Walker. Those type of names. But you're going to need one of these guys you're going to need Josh Downs to break out. No one expects Caleb to do it straight away. But yeah, look, it's not a bad team at all. Like your wide receiver room is very strong. You need to be careful with how you trade right now because respectfully, I think you took a massive loss on that last trade. And you need to be very careful how you use your assets moving forward. So what I would love to do is give you a free trade question voucher, because if you have some trade like that you're exploring in the future, I'd love to give feedback before you submit it. But yeah, man, thank you so much for that support, Smalls. Hopefully that helps. Please let us know with that trade question about that Cortland Sutton one, or you don't have to.
at all. But you should be receiving your playbook here within less than 24 hours on the Flock Fantasy message system. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we did get a start sit question.
Yeah,
here.
and I apologize. I'm not trying to come off the wrong way. I just know we would have never suggested it. Okay.
Mr. Bang is next. 1 quarterback, 12 teams start 8. Bo Nix, Bucky, Omarion, CeeDee, Devonta, David, and Joku. And you have a couple guys that you're going to be starting here. One's going to be Deebo Samuel, and the other one is between Travion Henderson and Matthew Golden.
Yep. Difficult decision here.
This
I
is
would
tough.
go probably Henderson there.
Yeah,
I have my reservations, but
yeah, I have reservations on both. I just feel like Golden pathway in my mind just feels like, why wouldn't I take that chance?
I kind of feel the same exact way with Henderson. I don't actually see Pollard playing over Henderson. And I think he could be like any...
Yeah.
Sorry, Gibson. I don't see Gibson playing over Henderson. Ramondre is going to be involved, but yeah, I could see Henderson scoring on any touch. I think they'll want to feature him in some way. But
yeah.
It's close. It's a very close one. Okay, guys, I think that is it for today. All the other team playbooks that are up right now, all the other team reviews that are up right now are all Dynasty. So what Badaki and I are going to do, it's just past noon our time here in Sydney. So we're going to go get some lunch. And in a couple hours, we're going to go live on the Dynasty channel while all you guys are sleeping. And we're going to knock all of these out. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you for all the questions. Thanks for, joining the stream and contributing. And we appreciate y'all big time, man. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow on this, answering any last minute questions as well. Keep that in mind.
2 hours before kickoff.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, right? When's kickoff for us, actually?
Our time, Badaki.
Yeah. We need to remember to do, at least I want to do it. I don't know how you feel about it, but I definitely want to do the pickups weekly. So I need to remember that tomorrow.
I don't think we have time to do that on the stream with the amount of questions that are going to be there, but...
Yeah. I guess if we have the time, so we'll wait and see.
Yeah. But... yeah, thanks guys. Thanks so much for being here with us. Again, there are so many links in the in the details down below in the description where you can submit a question with land. Make sure if you're creating an account, you use the code land. If you haven't gotten your season pass yet, it's a $34 one-time purchase. You'll get some vouchers for free. And then the earlier you submit a question right now, the higher you'll be tomorrow on the list on the site, and we'll answer them in order, which is awesome. And we appreciate y'all big time. One more super chat here from Rocket MLG says, do I flex JMO or Aaron Jones? I think Jones is probably the safer play, but I'm going to play Jameson Williams. I think he's the one that could win you your week there. So
yeah, it depends on what you need. If you need a high upside play, go JMO. If you need a safe play, you can go Aaron Jones, which kind of gives you an answer, all right? Because JMO plays in the afternoon slate, and let's just say you're down by like 100,
right?
Or like a certain amount, and you say, yeah, you know what, I just need high upside. You put JMO in, but if you feel pretty safe and you just want decent points, just maybe go Aaron Jones. So hopefully that helps, Rocket. We appreciate each and every one of you.
Yeah.
We will be live on our Dynasty channel when we're not after lunch. But it's going to be more of like an in and out type of thing. We're going to review these teams. I don't think we're going to go too crazy on questions or anything over there, or do giveaways. It's just going to be more of
it's a business stream.
Yeah, it's more of a live stream to make sure these guys that are investing in us get their stuff that they need. So
we'll be live 2 hours before kickoff tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Nothing but love.
Love, 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 love.